new show titled This BS Podcast Show. New show name, yes, but it's still the same great show. I feel more comfortable with this new name title, this name change. I love it. I feel like it's creative. I feel like it's kind of fit my personality. I feel like it bring out more of my personality. So it's good. I'm your host, like always,
The Fry Guy,
Brandon Fryer. We got a great show for y'all, man. We got to talk some NFL free agency started. It's still going on as we speaking, so we might get some updates as the show's going on. We got some good NBA talk regarding Phil Jackson. We got to see where that's going. And we at halftime, we got Denea. We're going to be talking about our BS rap bracket. You know, March Madness is around the way with their tournament and their bracket. We got our own, but we incorporate some hip-hop in it because we all love some hip-hop here. So lend me your ears. Get ready for this eargasm that I'm about to give y'all. Let's get into it. First quarter. Let's get you caught up with some news this week and start off in the NBA. As there a report that Phil Jackson is finalizing a deal with the New York Knicks for a position in their front office. The title of that position is yet to be named, but a deal could be done by the end of this week. In college basketball, 2 awards went out, as Michigan guard Nick Stauskas wins the Big Ten Player of the Year, and North Carolina State forward T.J. Warren wins ACC Player of the Year. In the NFL, Lions owner William Clay Ford passes away at the age of 88. Running back of the Cardinals, Rashad Mendenhall, retires at the early age of 26. And with free agency upon us, some cuts were made before free agency, like the Cowboys released DeMarcus Ware, the Steelers released Lamar Woodley, the Broncos released Champ Bailey, the Bears released 2 players in Julius Peppers and Devin Hester, the Jets also released 2 players in Antonio Cromartie and Santonio Holmes, and the Falcons released Tony Gonzalez because he has yet to file his retirement papers. Some notable re-signings happened also in free agency, like Michael Bennett re-signs with the Seattle Seahawks, Vontae Davis re-signs with Indianapolis Colts, Darren McFadden re-signs with the Oakland Raiders, Sam Shields re-signs with the Green Bay Packers, and Everson Griffin re-signs with the Minnesota Vikings. But there were some players who signed with new teams. Some notable ones was Michael Johnson signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, tackle Brandon Albert signing with the Miami Dolphins, and safety T.J. Ward signing with the Denver Broncos. And let's break down more of the free agency signings and the free agency period in our second quarter. They don't call it free agency frenzy for nothing here in the NFL. Because once free agency started here at 3 o'clock Central Time, there were about over 30 plus signings within the first 90 minutes of free agency. It's crazy. Everybody's trying to hurry up, sign people left and right, and it's still going on as we speak. So with that being said, I want to give my free agency day 1 winners and free agency day 1 losers. And we're going to start off with the winners first, because the winners are more important. The losers, you're a loser for a reason. Winners are first, losers are second, third, fourth, whatever number you want to put it that losers are, they just not number 1. So we winners over here, winners go first. Let's do that. Me saying that, by the way, made me feel as a minute as I was Diddy right now. Talking about we winners, bad boy. Or I'm Rick Ross. We winners over here, MMG. Like, sorry, that was a bad Rick Ross impression. I'm not good at impressions. But I digress. Let me get back. So we're going to start off with the winners. I'm going to start off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got Michael Johnson. They got Cliff McDonald. And they're in talks with Josh McCown. Probably being their, like, stop bridge quarterback. That's good. We worked with Lovey. He's doing some things over there. I actually really like that move. Another one. The Denver Broncos. Just because they got T.J. Ward. They're in the running for like a defensive end, or they need a pass rusher. I know they've been talking about Jared Allen. Now with DeMarcus Ware cut, he could probably come over as a situational pass rusher with the Denver Broncos. But the fact they got T.J. Ward, they got him for like, I think, a little less than under $6 million a season. Got him on a nice contract. And he's there now as your safety to really help out that secondary, which the Broncos secondary kind of needs that. And they got T.J. Ward, who's probably one of the best safeties. That's a win for them. Those 2 teams in particular are my winners. I got 3 losers. Okay. I'm starting with the San Francisco 49ers. And the reason why I got them as losers, granted, they did sign Anton Bethea. That was a good pickup. But You know, in the past 13 months, they have lost. In the past 13 months, they have lost 4 defensive backs. They just cut Carlos Rogers. They don't have Terrell Brown. So that's 2 of your starting cornerbacks gone right there. Dante Whitner is now gone to Cleveland Browns. So there go your safety gone. And just like a season ago, they let Golston leave to Tampa Bay. And that's not the worst part, that they just lost that. You know what else they did? They traded for Blaine Gabbert. Yeah, I know, former first-round pick who just has been god-awful, by the way. Just garbage. Just pathetic. Like, oh my God, I'm surprised he's still in the league. But they traded for him when they could have got him for free, because I'm pretty sure the Jags was going to release him. They gave away a 6th-round pick and a conditional pick. You could have got him for nothing. Why are you giving up 6th-round picks? I know what you're saying. It's just a 6th-round pick. Blaine Gabbert is not worth a 6th-round pick. And now they gave him away a 6th-round pick and a conditional pick. You don't know what that could be. So you gave up 2 picks for Blaine Gabbert? I mean, good job for the GM for the Jags, but 49ers, get it together. Jim Harbaugh probably going to be like, I can work with him. I can work with anybody. I don't know. That might be his toughest task yet. Another one's the Chiefs. The reason why Alex Smith, to me, was so good in that system, he had great protection. And I feel like now you lost that protection. Brandon Albert's gone. Eric Fisher had a rocky rookie season. And they're going to lose like 2 of their guards. So pretty much 3 out of 5 of their starting offensive line will probably be gone for the Kansas City Chiefs. And you expect to contend with the San Diego Chargers and the Denver Broncos. Your offense was already kind of stagnant with Alex Smith there. Now he don't have nobody to protect him. It don't look good for the Kansas City Chiefs. Another one is the Oakland Raiders. They had probably the most cap room in free agency period. And they didn't re-sign none of their players. They let Lamar Houston go to the Bears. They probably lost their best offensive tackle. He's with the Cardinals. But then they overpaid for Roger Safford. They overpaid for him, offensive tackle, to replace probably their better option. They overpaid for him, and he's injury prone. And they so hard. The only thing that they did that was good was re-sign Darren McFadden. That was actually a good move. You know, 1-year deal, $4 million. That was the only one. But besides that, I don't know what the Oakland Raiders are doing. They need to just get it together. One thing that Oakland's probably trying to do with their money is obtain Darrelle Revis from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which they probably should because they probably need that man-to-man type of cover. And I can see why Tampa Bay wants to give him up because there's already been a report that Tampa Bay asked Darrelle Revis to take a pay cut. Darrelle Revis refuses, which I feel like he's a true businessman because I can understand him saying, why would I take less money? I feel like I earned my money because I was rated as one of the best corners still after coming off injury in the NFL, and I was SN's comeback player of the year coming back from an injury. So why would I take that? I'm not going to take no pay cut. I'm sorry. So Tampa Bay is looking for a trade partner. Reasonable. That's understandable too because he's due like 16 mil against the cap. So I can understand that as well. But what Tampa Bay is asking for, they're asking for 2 first-round draft picks for Darrelle Revis. I'm sorry, you're not going to get 2 first-round draft picks with a guy who cap is so high. Here's my thing, though, about Darrelle Revis. They say he's one of the best shutdown corners and probably just the best corner in the NFL, arguably. But if you're the best, can't you feel like you could fit in any scheme? Because he's more of a man-to-man covered and, you know, Lovey has that Tampa too, which doesn't really fit right with Darrelle. But if you're the best, can't you adapt to any system? And I feel like he can, but I know the real reason. We all know the real reason. It's because of money. He's due too much money. You can get rid of a Darrelle Revis or trade him and maybe get something back and probably sign a cornerback cheaper, like a Charles Tillman, which also could affect the Bears because the Bears, they made some splashes this free agency. They got Lamar. That's a good move. They got think they got like a linebacker who's kind of known as a special team ace. That's pretty good. They got a safety who's like just a stopgap, kind of like a Craig Steltz-like. They're interested already, I heard, in wide receiver speed guy and Hickson from the Panthers. So there's still talks going on with that. As you all know, they already cut Devin Hester, Julius Peppers. They cut the tight end, the backup tight end. His name's drawing a blank right now. I can't remember his name. They cut him because something got to be wrong. They cut him. They didn't explain the reason why they cut him. They just cut him. The man signed a contract. 11 days later, he got cut. They need to really report that and explain why they cut him, because that's just weird to me. They need to speak on that. But the question now becomes, where do the Bears go from here? Out of all the players, there's Henry Melton, Charles Tillman, Josh McCown, who, by the way, Josh McCown is visiting the likes of Tampa Bay and Houston and probably New York, and Oakland also has interest in him. He's probably going to get a big payday. But out of those three, between McCown, Tillman, and Henry Melton, who would you say the Bears are going to miss the most? I'm going to let you think about that. I'm going to give you my answer. I really think they're going to miss McCown more than anything. Granted, I know you're going to say, man, but that defense was so horrible. To me, quarterback is the most important position. Jay Cutler, you know he's your starting quarterback. I'm not trying to argue that. But he's also shown a habit of he can't stay healthy. So if he can't stay healthy and he gets hurt, and you're probably in that playoff hunt, and you need probably and he's out for maybe 2 to 3 games, and you need somebody to fill in that role, you're comfortable with Jordan Palmer doing that? Probably winning you some games, keeping you in the playoff hunt? We don't want another Caleb Haney incident, do we? Do we really want that? Quarterback's important. Even the backup quarterback's important. So I'm not trying to say McCown is worth $6 million or $5 million a season, but I mean he's probably worth about $3 or $4 million. You saw the market for backup quarterbacks. Caleb Haney got $4 million. I think Castle got $5 million. It's understandable. Bears can't afford that because they got other needs in defense, and I understand that. But I wonder where the Bears go from here, and I wonder, does this affect their draft? We don't know yet because there's still free agency going on. There's still more signings. People are probably going to get cut later down the line. So we'll see more. But I'm just looking more forward to the signings that the Bears do and other teams in the NFL do, because this is one of my favorite parts, more than the season itself almost, is the NFL offseason, just to see what teams are going to get better and what teams did not get better at all. We're in our halftime portion. We're going to get into our new segment. It's called A Side of Fries, where normally I could do an interview or have a special guest. It could be anybody, but why not be with the person who's been contributing the most here at this BS podcast show? Denea is here in the building.
Hey, how y'all doing?
She's here, so it's good to see her. We both going to collab together, and some other people we collab this, of our 2014 BS rap bracket. With March Madness approaching and their brackets away, we decided let's do our own, but kind of mix a little bit, throw some rappers in it. We got a total of 65 rappers total in this bracket. The bracket got East, which includes East Coast rappers, South rappers, those going West, Midwest, the rest, the spill. So we got 65, we're about to drop it to 64 because we got a play-in game. And it's going to be in the East Coast bracket. The winner of this takes on the number 1 seed, Jay-Z. And we got Red Cafe versus Troy Ave. Red Cafe signed with Diddy. Troy Ave is a newcomer. He was rated second, right bit underneath Chance the Rapper, as probably the hottest 2014 newcomer onto the rap scene. Troy Ave it's funny because both of these kind of got the same thing. They both started with Fabulous, or kind of Fabulous kind of both helped them out. And then they kind of left Fab and kind of both did their own thing. So Red Cafe, Troy Ave, Denea, who you got and why?
I'm going to go with Red Cafe because he signed with Diddy. He has more hits and he has more financial backing. Yeah. It's easier for him to get out there and be seen versus this Troy Ave man.
I agree. So, you pretty much said what I was going to say. So, Red Cafe, he's with Bad Boy. He made more bigger moves throughout his career so far. Troy Ave is still working his way up. Red Cafe just put in that work. So right now, we both got Red Cafe. Listeners, y'all not going to decide this one. You get to decide the rest of them. But right now, we're going to have Red Cafe take on Jay-Z. And remember, by the end of this week, you guys go vote. Next week, we're going to say who advanced and probably why they advanced, or really dig into that. So that's our BS bracket. We already got the play-in winner. Red Cafe wins over Troy Ave. He's going to take on the #1 seed in Jay-Z. I feel like that's going to be a loss right away. But the listeners get to decide. But it's all good. Third quarter. Third quarter, we're going to get into some basketball and talk about Phil Jackson. But before I do, this just came in. There's been a report that the Lakers are going to expect Kobe Bryant. They're going to rule that he's going to be out for the remainder of the season. So that is kind of some big news. So the Lakers are just in full now tank mode. Let's try to get better as quick as we can. Now, with that being said, Kobe's coach, who he won a championship with, Phil Jackson, is now looking like he's headed to the New York Knicks in a front office role. Now, the details, like I said before, there's no title yet on his position in this front office role, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be president of basketball operations. And I wonder what the details of the deal would be. Obviously, like I said, he'll be president of basketball operations. He'll probably bring in his own GM because you know what the funny thing? It was reported that probably weeks before this news came out that current general manager of the New York Knicks, Steve Mills, brought Phil Jackson in and talked about maybe he can be a mentor or consultant or maybe a coach. And Phil Jackson said, I don't want to be a coach. I want to be in the front office. But he said, no, coach. So now James Dolan meets with Phil Jackson and say, how about you work in the front office, maybe president of basketball operations. So he's probably going to bring in his own GM and fire Steve Mills. Like Steve Mills had a meeting with you, say, hey, work underneath me, and then now he's like, no, I got the job, now you work underneath me. That's boss level right there. But anyway, he's probably going to bring in his own GM. And with that, he brings in his own coach. There's already a rumor going around that he likes Steve Kerr as his coach. I can see that because there's been reports that Steve Kerr actually wants to coach, and he likes to coach, and he wants to get out there. And they say he's very smart. He's knowledgeable of the game. You could tell from his broadcasting days. He probably don't need that much experience. Look at Mark Jackson. He was a broadcaster, went right into coaching. Look how well he's doing. So Steve Kerr, I could definitely see that happening. I wouldn't mind if he had Steve Kerr as a GM. Now, he was an okay GM for the Phoenix Suns, but I could see him doing that. Maybe he feels like he's the president of the basketball operations, and he'll be the GM as well. I'll just get my own coach. I don't need the GM. But he might need a GM to probably work out all the financial details and talking to agents. Phil Jackson don't look like he likes to deal with all that. But I think that would be the details of the deal. And also, another part or a detail of this deal probably is going to work is location. They say that Phil Jackson wants to stay in L.A. with his fiance. Why would I want to be in New York? Man, if he got it like that, he's Phil Jackson. The Knicks probably going to give him whatever he wants. Then the question becomes, the deal is completed and finalized. What does he do? There's already rumored that he said he'll probably break up the Knicks. He was already reported by saying, when he was talking about the Knicks, they're just a clumsy team, and they got some clumsy players. And he named them Carmelo Anthony, Mark Stoudemire, Tyson Chandler. But it's also been a report now of him taking this job that he wants some assurance from Carmelo Anthony if he wants to stay with the New York Knicks. Now, if I'm Carmelo Anthony, I'm thinking, what I want to do. Now, Phil Jackson's here. Maybe he could bring that Pat Riley type vibe to the Knicks, how he did with the Heat. That could work. I can see that. Or he's just say, you know what, I'm going to go test for agency because I can't stand lose another year because I don't know what Phil can do. Because Phil's going to have to do some serious work here. And we don't know what Phil is like as a president of basketball operations or a GM. We know what he is as a coach. We don't know nothing else beyond that. So I wonder what he do. And then with Phil Jackson there, this does affect the Chicago Bulls because your goal is probably to get, maybe your plan A is to get a Carmelo Anthony. How are you going to get that if Phil Jackson's there now with the Knicks? Does that probably make Carmelo Anthony think maybe I should just stay with the Knicks and not go to the Bulls or another team? But if I'm the Bulls, you definitely better have your plan B ready to go because this could be a big move and it does affect the Bulls. It's funny, too, by the way, because J.R. Smith, they talked to him about it. He didn't even know about the rumor. And you probably don't need to know because eventually if Phil Jackson's there, you'll probably be gone. Mike Woodson didn't want to speak about it, which is understandable. You probably don't want to speak about it because you're probably going to be gone too. So it all makes sense. But this Phil Jackson to the Knicks move, good move I feel like for the Knicks. Phil Jackson, I don't know. This could probably hurt your legacy, but it'd be a good challenge for Phil Jackson. I think he wants to get back into basketball. Another segment here in the fourth quarter that I changed. It used to be called On Everyone's Lips, but now I call it Your Ish. Where it's the ish that you want to talk about. You just send us a tweet. It changed now. Hit us up on Twitter at This BS Show. And send us your questions, and I'll answer them right here on this segment. Now, I'm going to get into the first question. At THood149 said, MVP rankings, question mark. Top 5, question mark. All right, my top 5 MVP rankings. 1 and 2 is, it's LeBron and Kevin Durant. One can be, it can switch. It doesn't really matter. But those are the top 2. I really want to get into the other one. Number 3, I got Blake Griffin. The other night, the man scored 37 points against the Phoenix Suns. And he's been dominating pretty much all season. He's been so consistent. He's raised his game to another level. Chris Paul was out for a good portion of this NBA season. And the Clippers did not miss a beat. Mainly because Blake Griffin is taking his game to another level. He's not just dunking on people and creating highlights and, be all over SportsCenter. He's doing so much more. His post skills is so much better. He's more efficient with the ball. He's just better defensively. Doc Rivers got Blake Griffin playing at a high level. I have him right now currently number 3 in my MVP rankings. Number 4, I got James Harden. The Rockets are another team rising just like the Clippers. They seem like they finally got it together. Dwight Howard seems like he knows his role now with the Rockets. Chandler Parsons knows his role. And James Harden knows his role. And that's just be the man of that team. Because he's pretty much saying that this team is his. It's not Dwight Howard. It's James Harden's team. And he's showing that he is the captain and the man of that team. The man has been balling out. The man's been scoring so efficiently. It has been crazy. I remember one game, I think it was against the Kings. The man had 43 points in just 3 quarters. I just wondered if he played the fourth quarter. I really just wondered if he played the fourth quarter. How many points he really would have had. So he's my number 4. Number 5, I have a tie, actually. I know you said top 5. I'm going to give you 2 because one who used to be number 3 was Paul George, but he has been slipping. The Pacers, ever since they made these trades, they look like they haven't got their chemistry right. Paul George looked like he's getting kind of tired and fatigued. And the Pacers need to somewhat get together. He's the star of that team, and he's kind of falling off. And the guy that's rising, who's tied with him, is Chicago Bulls' Joakim Noah. He has been balling. Ever since Luol Deng is gone, he has took control of that team and became pretty much the voice and the heart and soul of that team. And pretty much every game, he flirts with a triple-double pretty much every time. If he could score more points, the man would just be awesome. Right now, he's the best center in the game. Right now, currently, in the NBA. Next question goes to I'm Loving It. She says, does Wichita State deserve the number 1 seed? They were 34-0. They're undefeated. First time that happened since UNLV in the 1990-1991 season. Yes, I do believe they deserve to be the number 1 seed. I know you're going to say their competition is weak. The Missouri Valley Conference is horrible. But I feel like they deserve the number 1 seed along with Louisville, Florida, and Arizona. Yes, they do deserve a number 1 seed. Next question from Always the Bad Guy. No Soul, Kirko, T. Scott, 3 Stacks, and Young Thug. I'm pretty sure you're referring to my BS rap bracket. And yeah, I didn't have them. The people you name, a lot of them sound like South people. And the South, once you see it, go on the Tumblr page. I'm going to explain that more. But the South is so stacked. And Kirko just haven't had too many songs of late. So we didn't put him on there. Travis Scott is another one who falls in that category. Andre 3000, the only reason why we didn't put him on there is because he haven't put out nothing recently of late. Like, I can't keep going back to like 5 years from now and put him on the list just because he's a legend. If that's the case, I might as well put Tupac and Biggie and Scarface all on there too then. And I didn't. So, and Young Thug, one-hit wonders, I just didn't have room for him. It's the South. One-hit wonders didn't really get. He didn't get on there. Young Thug didn't get on there. Rich Homie Quan didn't. Migos didn't. Trinidad James didn't get on there. Ab-Soul was hard. That one was tough. I could have put him in there. I just put Casey Veggies ahead of him because Casey Veggies just had a little more work than Ab-Soul. Ab-Soul is just coming on now. I could have put him on there. That's the only one that I say is debatable. I could say Ab-Soul deserved to be in that West bracket, and I didn't put him in there. It was between him and Casey Veggies, and I put Casey Veggies ahead of him just because he had more work. So that one's debatable. I'll give you that one, always the bad guy. I'll give you that. Before I get up out of here, I want to give my player of the game. This is obviously a positive award, and it goes to Atlanta Hawks small forward Kyle Korver, who 3-point streak came to an end against the Portland Trail Blazers this past week. His streak of making a three-pointer in every game stopped at 127. I repeat, 127. The record before that was, I think, 88. And he surpassed that and more. It's going to be tough to beat Kyle Korver's record. And you could tell he was so sad. I saw him on the bench, and he just looked like devastated. He wanted to be back out there so he could try to make a three. I think he wanted that streak. And I'm glad that players actually don't want their records or their, like, whatever they got to be broken. I like players like that because it's like, this is what I have. This is what I got from the game. They're always going to remember me. So I can understand that. I got a new one. This is the negative award, and it's called Full of Bull. This is when people or players or anybody just say something stupid or do something stupid, and it goes to Minnesota Governor Pat Garifano. He said and tweeted out that if 70% of the NBA teams folded, street crime would increase. Sounds a little bit racist, don't you think? He later apologized and tried to retract what he said. He was talking about, I'm talking about, like, because of the players' drug use and all that. But if you look at the stats, and there's reports on the internet, you can find it, that really the NBA folding has nothing to do with actually street crimes. So maybe you should check your facts, Minnesota Governor, before you say something stupid like that. Don't feed me BS and call it sugar grits. Okay? You full of bull. If you ever get a chance, go on our Tumblr page. It's underneath a new name. I'm going to get into that name. But go on there and check out, we got 2 articles on Michael Sam. One about him selling t-shirts, and another one about, it's a ranking from the cities from the most positive to the least positive about Michael Sam coming out being gay. Also go on there, there's a new NFL arena football team coming called the LA Kiss. Yeah, the owner, co-owner, Gene Simmons from Kiss. They have revealed their new jerseys, and it's probably the best football jerseys I ever seen. Go on there and check it out. Also, Jordan Brand Classic. It's like second, right underneath the McDonald's All-American game. It's probably the best high school players in the nation. They revealed their rosters. Go on there and check out the rosters there. And you can go on there and check out our 2014 BS Rap Bracket. Go on there, check it out, see who's facing who. And go on our Tumblr page. The new name is thefryguyBS.tumblr.com. Again, that's thefryguyBS.tumblr.com. Also, if you want to vote for that 2014 BS Rap Bracket, hit us up on Twitter. That's @ThisBSShow. Again, new name, @ThisBSShow. And send us your votes, and you can see who advanced there. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to, really, I would say another episode, but I'm going to say our first episode of the new This BS podcast show. I'm your host, The Fry Guys, Brandon Fryer. It's a whole bunch of people, so I don't have that much time. So just thank everybody who gives me feedback on the show. I appreciate it. And remember, life is a game. So play hard, all full court. See y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Come again.
Bye-bye. Trip. I'm out of here anyway. Peace out.